Yeah. Higher, I take you higher. Higher. Yeah. I got this sacred, that sacred fire.
Welcome. I am Khamsin, the Untamed Oracle. And that's not just a name. It's a pretty interesting journey that I chose. I am an Akashic Records reader. Really don't need tools, but I like to use tools. It's something that I enjoy doing. And so without further ado, whether you are old or you are new, or you are day one on my boo, it's cool because we're going to pull some cards and see what may be true for you. If it does not resonate, you don't have to keep it. If it resonates, take it and work with it. Work with it. Work with it like you're kneading dough. Work with it. Think about it. Let it come back to you in the form of synchronicities. Like, this is what this is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the first card. I'm going to say a quick prayer before I begin. Okay. So I don't know why. Maybe somebody needs this, but I'm hearing a soundtrack in my mind and it's saying dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Oh. So maybe we need some happy feelings. Is that what it is? Or are you afraid to feel happy feelings because you feel like one shoe drops after the other? Is that what it is? Is that what's going on? When you finish watching this, go listen to that song. It's a download for you. That download may not come in the form of something that you hear verbally or like through your auditory sensory system. It may be something that you just feel. You may even just feel lighter. Rest in peace, Frankie Beverly. Thank you for the music that you have given to us. So we're going to get started with Isis. Isis wants me to pull from her. So let's see what Isis has for us for this week. And it doesn't matter when you see this reading. I'm doing these readings weekly now because I have been told to do so. But whenever you see this reading, what is for you is going to be for you. Am I going to take that? I got to take that. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So, you know, by looking at this card, this makes me feel like it's been some things around you that makes you uncomfortable. And it's hard, it's obvious. It's really hard for you to not notice. You be trying to not notice, but it's hard for you to not notice. And so this is what you asked for. You've been saying, I want the truth. Like, I want the truth. Show me the truth, right? Like, I don't want to live in these illusions anymore, in these fantasies. And, you know, we create these fantasies. No matter what you are living, it's something that you co-created through decisions, through mindsets, through certain behaviors, through consistent attitudes or consistent habits, through your coping mechanisms. And so those things create our reality. And I have this thing that I say, I call it the R team. Well, that's what I'm calling it right now. The R gang, okay? And it's like when you repeat something, repetition, you create a rhythm. And that rhythm then creates a rhyme. And that rhyme, which is basically like how one thing connects to the other, how one line connects to the next line, how one chapter in your story connects to the next chapter, you create a rhyme. And that rhyme creates reasons for things to be in your life. And those reasons for those things being in your life lead to what creates your reality. And so what you have to do is you have to learn how to create a resonance by paying attention what you resonate with that's helpful for you, and like honing in on it as much as you possibly can, consuming it as much as you possibly can, letting it be a part of your everyday routines. This is the R game. And so just me exploring the R's, I learned so much, okay? But let me tell you what this card says. It says there are times when appearances of people, places, and things are deceptive. And you will sense this when something feels uncomfortable within you. When you notice feelings of anxiety or doubt within you, you may think there is something wrong with you, but actually you are intuitively sensing that all is not as it appears to be. Trust what you feel, not what appears to be. And so I was just talking about you being able to trust what you feel. Trust what you feel. This may be the complete opposite of what you think it is. So you might feel like you're trapped in a certain situation. Okay, that's a feeling. But then you have to ask yourself, does it benefit me to trust that? Right? Maybe this is just the way it's appearing to be because of past experiences and past traumas. Maybe there is a way out of this situation. Maybe there is a way for me to step out of this reality, to shift in a new timeline. Just the maybe. Just put the maybe in the air. I put the maybe in the air and let it become what it is meant to be for you. Because maybe the way you're perceiving it has been wrong. And now you're perceiving things in a different way. And you might be indecisive. Hell, I might be talking to a Libra. Somebody with a lot of Libra in their chart. Me and Mercury in Libra. Like, I have a hard time making decisions. I have a hard time being decisive. This is why I use divination. It helps me to gain clarity, which came up in the reading last week. If you didn't watch me last week, go back last week and watch that reading. I talked about ways to get clarity. So, yes, stuff is being unveiled to you. This is the thing. Let me tell you from experience, baby. When you are, because I know that I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm speaking to somebody who knows they're intuitive. You know you are empathic. Shit don't get past you. You see and notice everything. You notice every tone, every micro expression. So this is the thing. I was riding on the day from taking my daughter to school. And I realized that me being so intuitive, my spidey senses is ridiculous, like off the charts, okay? Even all of my 5 senses are heightened. And because I notice every little bitty thing, and I notice the minuscule things, I notice the things that are in the undercurrent, right? So even like a person's energy, or maybe a thought that they're having, but they're not speaking it out loud. Like, I hear that shit. I'm telepathic. I'm clairvoyant. I'm clairsentient, clairaudient. I'm all of those things. And I see so many people making videos and courses about how to tap into this and how to do this. But if you don't have ways to soothe your nervous system when the truth starts to be unveiled to you, your ass will be all over the place. So carve out some time for you. If I'm speaking to someone who is a mother, who is a wife, like, you have my condolences. It's beautiful, but it's hard. Okay, we keeping it real and untamed over here. Carve out some time. If you gotta hide in your closet, that was my spot. Go in your bathroom. Lock the door and just have a few minutes with yourself, and just ask yourself, like, what is it that I need to make me feel more comfortable? I've been wanting the truth. The truth is being shown to me. What is it that I can do to regulate my nervous system while I'm going through this unveiling of truth? Because you're also discovering the truth about yourself. You're discovering the truth about what your limitations are. Oh, like, that's a sticky point, okay? We don't like that, right? Like, that's not preferred. I do not prefer my limitations to be in my damn face, bold. But that's where shadow work comes in, where you can say, I do have this financial constraint right now. I am in debt. I am dealing with this this situation, right? I am having to go to court because of blah 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 blah. You know, I'm having this issue with this person, whatever it may be. I'm not wanting to work in my job anymore. I'm wanting to do something different. Whatever it may be, like the key to you stepping into a timeline that's going to be like attuned to your true self, your core self, is your nervous system. So here's what I want you to do. I have a free Skool community. It's free right now because I want people to, women specifically, to be able to have this space, to be able to unwind, okay? And I have 2 things in there, only 2 things, because my purpose is to present a softer way of manifesting, of transformation. And I have a somatic exorcism, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I have a way that I move my body. I've been studying traditional Chinese medicine. I get acupuncture like every week. I'm working with a yoga myofascial release specialist. I'm doing a lot of different things to tap into this realm of consciousness and working with the goddesses. And so they've been teaching me about body parts that they have codes in. And when we work with those parts of our body in certain ways with breath, you're able to create softness inside your body and release the stress and the tension. Don't sleep on it. If you know that's for you, you can follow the link. It's going to be in the description. We're going to pull the next card because, yeah, I just like really went in. We can end this reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Because, honey, somebody would have told me that in the reading, I would have been like, bet. That's what we doing. Okay, what's next? Who is next? All right. Thank you for that, Isis. I feel like you got something else to say. Okay, we're going to come back to you. We're going to come back to you. Isis like, I'm not done. Excuse me. These bitches is hard-headed. These bitches is stubborn. And I'm like me? Because, honey, I'm stubborn. I will stick my hand on the stove a couple of times before I stop. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm stubborn. It's hard to get me to change. It's hard to change my mind. That's why when you start seeing these truths that's coming out, you want to make sure that you learn how to be flexible, because it's going to benefit you to know what it takes to shift your mind. Okay. Thank you. I felt you. Okay. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. Why am I doing this? I don't know. It just felt right. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like this came up because, this came up because, are you the person that everybody feel like they can talk to about their problems? Or maybe even feel like they can come to for help? Like, because I'm picking up that you're very resourceful. So like, you can make a meal out of nothing. You could take a little bit of money and get a lot of things done with it. Like, you're really, really good at these things. And this is just giving me a lot of Virgo energy now, but whatever your chart may have in it, but you have these qualities about you. You are a very responsible person. Now, here's the other side to that. We can sometimes become the people who have a revolving door of things and people needing us. And at one point in your life, maybe it felt good to be needed. It felt good for people to confide in you. But now it's starting to feel a little bit like a burden. And it's starting to feel a little bit like maybe you're giving out more than you're receiving. You know, not even maybe, but you feeling like that. So, based on my experience, this must be one of those truths that was being unveiled. Thank you. Heard that. So when I discovered this truth, okay, and I discovered that this is the way people saw me. I knew I needed to pivot, but I didn't know how, because I didn't want to let people down. And maybe you don't like to disappoint people. Maybe, you may have even been the kid growing up who felt like you was the only responsible one in the house, I had to start creating some boundaries for myself, not really for other people, but for me. So if somebody called and they needed advice, I had to say, okay, after 10 minutes, that's it. That's as much as I can give. Look, I have a small amount of spoons today, okay, left over as a chronic illness baddie, and chronic fatigue. Like, okay, you can get 10 minutes of my time. And that is valuable as fuck. And even though it may not be enough to them, I had to create a mindset inside of myself where it was enough for me. It didn't matter if it was enough for them. Was it enough for me? And once I was able to tap into that, I started to pull away from the burnout that it was creating. This could be work, responsibilities at work. And they just keep giving you assignments. Maybe it's time for you to speak up and be like, hey, I've taken on as much as I can. I can't take on any more right now. I'd like to really be able to help you, but this is as much as I can give. It's just those simple things. Sometimes you can be feeling like you're at a place where you're just not sure. You're not sure of some things, and you're needing to spend more time and pay more attention to yourself. So you can't have a revolving door right now. Close the door. Hell, and make a wish. And blow out a candle. And call on whatever it is that you believe in, even if it's just your ancestors or your higher self. Say, I'm calling in some help. Calling in some backup. Calling in some backup. Because I'm shifting my identity into my I divinity. Did you catch that? Right? I don't want to be dented, wounded anymore, broken. I'm shifting my identity that the roles the world gave me, so that I can really tap into my I divinity. That's a word I made up. It makes sense. It makes so much sense when you think about it. Because who you are in the divine aspect of yourself, that is your higher self. That's your divine self. So call in some help. I don't know what's up with these songs today, but close your eyes, make a wish. Make a wish. That wish gonna come true. All you required to do is to follow through. And here I am with the Dr. Seuss, talking about rhyming. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. What we got going on here? Because there was a whole lot going on. Oh, okay. We got the Hermit and the Magician. This is really giving me High Priestess energy. No wonder I gave you a simple ritual. You could even use a birthday cake candle. I know y'all probably got some birthday cake candles in the kitchen somewhere. Just go grab one, light it, make a wish. And while you're in the bathroom or the closet, please burn this candle safely. But yes, this is what this is giving me. Like you are needing to be a hermit, but not like infinitely. Because that's my sanctuary, right? When I pull away and go into myself, that's my sanctuary. I need that, right? But there is a certain point where I must be the magician, meaning that instead of me being in self-reflection, introspection, spending time alone, meditation, I'm needing to actually use that creative power that I have conjured within myself, taking time for myself, learning how to take better care of myself. And I'm needing to actually start planning some things and putting some things into practice, some of the ideas that I have, putting them into practice, and actually saying like, okay, what can I make with this? So it could be one thing that you want to commit to doing. That's tapping into your magic. This is why I told y'all that one routine, that one short quiz, take about 5 minutes. It's in the Skool community. Go there and do both of those. If it don't unlock something for you, let your girl know. Okay? Let me know. Be like, this did absolutely nothing for me. Okay? Let me know. I want y'all to keep it real with me. Because I'm not creating this content just for the fun of it. I enjoy doing it, but this is me coming out of my hermit mode and going into magician mode when I share these things. So if you don't know where to start there. Start there. But you've done the hermit thing, and that's great, and you can keep doing that, but not infinitely. Okay? I need you to allow yourself to experience the world and allow yourself to, do some new things. Maybe you feel like somebody around you don't want you being magical. Sometimes the version of us that people are more comfortable with becomes the version of us that we emotionally contort ourselves into being, because childhood trauma said that was safe. And I'm telling you, it's safe for you to step out of that. That's a trauma loop. That's a trauma reenactment. That's what feeds the lower vibrational 3D earth. Step out of that. It don't mean that you have to tell the world. You don't have to come out the broom closet if you don't want to. But you can still go in the bathroom and burn your candle and speak into the atmosphere of something that you want to manifest, be devoted to, receive, whatever it is. Like, this is, do your magic in private, if that's what you need to do. When I figured out that I was a white galactic wizard, I wanted everybody to learn how to discover their galactic origins and know what they were. And I committed to that and did that. But at the time, like, my partner wasn't into none of that. And yes, it was this fear of like, okay, is he gonna think I'm crazy? Like, what? How am I gonna do this? Like, what impact is this gonna have on our relationship? I had all of those questions. But I knew it was time for me to do what I needed to do. So you don't have to make a YouTube channel and create a course and create a Patreon and teach people how to do it. You ain't got to do all that. But just do it for you. Do it for you. And you can do it in private if that's what you need to do. All right. We're going to move on. Oh, wait. This is an emotional one, huh? Like, I don't know. I'm feeling all kinds of emotions right now. I don't know. Why in the hell am I seeing corn? I don't know. Stuff. I'm seeing corn, y'all. Now, corn does symbolize abundance. So maybe your definition of abundance needs to be recalibrated, and you'll start to see that you already have a harvest. It's already here. Maybe you have a harvest of great ideas. Maybe you have a harvest of just more self-love. You've really been I'm really committed to doing this. I'm really devoted to this. But I was saying corn, unless somebody eats some corn. Now, if you eating corn, I'm not here to judge. But I'm just gonna say the corn we got now is the corn our ancestors had. So, you know, you can check in with Dr. Sadie. He got videos and books. Okay, so I pulled beautiful Medusa. And Medusa can represent rage. I totally get this. Sometimes we don't know where to put our anger, and it festers, and then it builds into rage. Somebody grew up with people in the family that had anger issues. That's what I'm feeling. And maybe you even have somebody in your circle of influence that you have noticed this truth about. They have some anger issues. And sometimes when that happens, it can make you uncomfortable with your own anger, because it's kind of like you feel like it's enough anger going around. Like, just look at the world. I mean, the world stage is just filled with anger, hatred, racism, and violence. It's just so much. But for you specifically, this is a sacred act of release. Acknowledge the rage that you feel. Sometimes we avoid it because it may lead to sadness. Because whatever it is that makes you angry, oftentimes is connected to the emotion of sadness. You know, I notice men and women, but a lot of men, when they're sad about things, they behave in angry ways because anger feels more masculine. It feels more safe. It feels more, I still have some level of control, right? But sadness is like vulnerable. It's like, I feel weak. I just feel hurt. I feel broken. And then the toxic positivity culture, I mean, it make you feel like these emotions are not useful. And it wasn't only until I started working with Kali that I realized how useful my rage was. So when I notice it in me, if I start simmering about some stuff, yes, I'm about to cuss your ass out. And I'm gonna do it the 5D way. I'm gonna put it in my journal. And so I would just get it out of me and express it, you know. And I just would feel a release. And sometimes I even felt like things were going to get better because I took that emotion into myself and then took it out of myself when it was time. And just by doing that, you clear your auric field. And that is going to allow you to be able to create an open space to receive some of the things that have not been flowing to you that you would like to. Okay? So that's what I feel from that. Okay, so we're going to go to, I might do something different today. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to finish off with an oracle card. I like to let them close the ceremony, so to speak. This is really, really good, like useful, practical information, like stuff that you can use. Things that you can start doing now. You don't have to wait. Woo, I mean, I know you have had a hard life. I hear you. I feel you. Yes, I feel you. I understand. You have had some hard times in life and some difficult situations. But it was only because your soul knew it could handle it. You see. I might have came out scarred up on the other side of this, but my scars is proof that what I went up against did not prosper against me. I'm still standing. Yes, I'm scarred up, but I'm still standing. And so are you. You're still standing. Even if you're laying down right now, you're still standing, you know? Yeah, okay. Stibnite. The stibnite crystal represents conflict. What are your conflict resolution skills? What do they look like? Is your main go-to to avoid conflict until you can't avoid it no more? And then maybe then you crash out. That's the in the kitchen cooking dinner, and all of a sudden you hit your hand on the counter and you're like, I'm sick of this shit. One of the moments. You held in too much. So conflict resolution skills. Pick 2. If you don't know where to start, let me know in the comments, and I will create a conflict resolution guide for you. Because one of the ways that you've been dealing with conflict is withholding your truth, even from your own self, and walking on eggshells, like feeling like you're on thin ice, feeling like situations are just so unstable, feeling already overwhelmed, already stressed in your body. And then it's like, I just don't want to deal with this. This is what sent you into hermit mode. One of the things that sent you into hermit mode. Like, I need to shield myself from conflict. And that can be useful. That can be a good tool. But it has an expiration date. Once it's full, it's no use to you. So you move to the next conflict resolution skill. And the more of them that you have, the more of them that you are aware of, and the more of them that you practice, the better you will get at navigating what could be tense situations, what could be triggers that cause you to behave like the old version of you, which leads to you feeling disappointed in yourself, which leads to you feeling like you're not your divine self, which leads to you feeling like you're not worthy of the things that you desire. And you see the cycle. And this is a cycle that you're meant to break. Okay? Notice this crystal is black. It's like black and shiny gray. Black absorbs negative energy. Are you working with obsidian? Like, get you some obsidian, okay? Like my black crystals, it is a non-negotiable. It's something that I must have with me on my person or in my purse or under my pillow at all times. Like, I'm not playing with these negative energies. I don't have time to play with these negative energies. Not even my own. Okay? So that's something that can help you with that. And if I get enough people to say, you know what, I have not mastered conflict resolution, and walking on eggshells is one of the ways that I deal with this. I do need this guide. I'm going to put that in my free Skool community for you. Bear with me. No, I'm doing a soft life thing, but it's going to get done. Okay, it's definitely going to get done. My word is my bond. I'm my sister's keeper. We need more women as their sister's keeper. I hope y'all liking the frequency on this side over here. I thought about you. I thought about you last night. Bharati Yogini. I thought about Bharati Yogini last night. It's interesting. I don't remember why this came to my mind. Yes, I do. I was cycling through negative thoughts, honey, like a woman in spandex in the 80s on one of them exercise bikes. I was dripping in sweat, like mentally exhausted, and I could not turn it off. Now, notice that there is a root chakra on the skull. Okay, so this lets me know that you've been feeling like you got to be in survival mode. And survival mode breeds rage. It breeds resentment. It breeds discontent. It breeds all of those things. Okay, so it says, sublime Bharati, fierce with sacred rage. Here we go. We're tapping in today. You wanted clarity? Here we go. Cannot be deceived nor deterred. Hold on to that. Nothing in your life is deterring you. This is the affirmation. Everything in my life, no matter how it looks, will not deter me from my divinity. Everything in my life, no matter how it looks, will not deter me from my divinity. That made me want to lick my finger. Honey, baby, because that was, honey, yeah, that was good. She is unflinching, fearless, and determined. She causes that which is unworthy of the soul to flee and secures divine protection for the authentic soul path. Her presence empowers our hearts to face our fears and signifies that we are ready to overcome anything that has held us back. She gives the power to fulfill our heart's desires and reminds us to embrace our unique path with confidence. The sixth of the Mahadviya wisdom goddesses is Bharati. She is the wrathful emanation of Kali Ma and the conqueror of fear. Her name means both formidable and terrifying. Why would we be afraid of our beloved Divine Mother? We can recognize that she is fearsome in the sense of divine magnificence and inspiring awe. Like a force of nature, powerful enough to rattle our inflated sense of entitlement and invincibility, she becomes something we can revere because we recognize with relief a power so much greater than the small-minded workings of our ego. We can dedicate ourselves to alleviating the suffering we see in the world if that is what motivates our hearts. Yet we can also take refuge because becoming disheartened by the extent of our task, because we recognize divine greatness and capacity. The entitled mind of a young soul may misinterpret such magnificence as an excuse for apathy. This is why she must be fearsome to such minds. The fear of God is necessary to trigger inner growth until the love of God is enough to motivate our hearts. Say that again. The fear of God is necessary to trigger inner growth until the love of God is enough to motivate our hearts. Bharati is divine wrath. She demands that we meet our potential. There is no playing small when she arises in a reading. Her appearance manifests to give us a necessary reminder to step up our spiritual game. As taking care of your physical body, which is your living altar, begin there. The external things are great, but if you're not taking care of the internal, the external things become a crutch. Your commitment to the spiritual practices that suit you at this time is strongly encouraged. There are divine forces that will more than match your efforts, and a great deal of progress can be made in a relatively short time frame. If you apply yourself to a task, your progress will unfold more rapidly than you expect. You can accomplish even intimidating prospects if you harness your courage and commit to the process. To encourage such dedication, she dangles a divine carrot. If we step up, her power can become our power of protection. and she will share her other divine powers with us too. She is also known as Siddhi Bharavi, the grantor of spiritual abilities, powers, and attainments. She brings out the best in us and conquers the threats to our fulfillment. Her appearance in a reading augurs potential for tremendous accomplishment. Although she may seem downright frightening in what she asks of us, as we often find liberation from our fears by moving right through them, she is beneficent. She is the light of sacred fire and higher awareness, or tejas in Sanskrit. That is the light which provides clarity, the capacity for discernment. Without access to that light, the ego misinterprets guidance to suit its own ends and creates confusion. Her light helps us see and overcome the self-sabotage of ego, and instead tune into genuine wisdom, even if it is not what we want to hear. Genuine wisdom brings peace, relief, and clarity. It creates forward movement on our authentic path. By its effect, it can be known. The warmth of the fire also presents the capacity to be cooked, not in that way, but transformed, ripened, and brought to complete fruition. The soul is the substance undergoing exposure to the Divine Mother's alchemical heat. Hers is the promise that we shall not only dream, but do. We shall become what we were born to be. When Bharavi arises, we are asked to embrace our true passions and allow them to burn and purify us from within. The Tantras teach that Bharavi incites every form of passion and teaches the power to control them. This is why she is a yogini, a female adept that knows how to unleash and yet guide the wild energies of our being for sacred, passionate purpose. Bharavi is considered to be the latent energies that exist within the Muladhara, or the base chakra, that's the root chakra. This is the foundation upon which the body, earthly life, and soul purpose arise in the world. She takes the divine energy from an idea and gives it the capacity to become embodied, to take form. Bharavi pulls the rug out from beneath us when we are ready for a powerful connection with truth. She helps us to ground ourselves within our authentic spiritual journey, rather than on the shaky ground of ever-fluctuating external circumstances. It is from this spiritually stable place that we can move from strength to strength, secure in her love and protection, as we manifest our passionate purpose. Recognize your inner divine badass and commit to your dreams with conviction, sis. She ain't say that, but I felt like it was something she would have said on the end of that. Like, sis, you know, you just kind of need that on the end of there. That. So here's an invocation. And I love invocations because it's an invitation for this consciousness of Bharavi Yogini to drip into your consciousness, to drip into your being. And so throughout the day, throughout the week, you will have guidance and you will have synchronicities that will align with this reading. Oh, and it's so delicious. It's so good when that happens. I just so happen to be a very passionate bitch. I am very passionate about the things that I'm passionate about. I am also very apathetic about the things that I'm apathetic about. It goes both ways. But sometimes as a woman, our role is so demanding from us that we don't really get a chance to explore our passion. And that alone will deplete you. This is why she will pull the rug out from under you when you're ready. So if you're feeling like the rug been pulled out from under you, just know it was because you was ready. Okay? So this is the invocation. Yogini, Queen Bharavi, uniting spirit and form, bringing sacred inner desires to material fruition for the spiritual benefit of all beings. I bow with respect. You who are Bharavi, wrathful mother, conquering fear and confusion, manifesting the power of Kali, blocking the workings of black magic and the ill effects of planetary forces, offering protection from curses and cure against delusion. You bring boons, blessings, abundance, and empowerment for the fulfillment of desires and the increase of comfort. Remedy against disease and despair. You are restoration. All this you accomplish to manifest spiritual enlightenment for all beings. I let go of my fear and I open my arms to your love for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Jama Kali, Bharavi, Jama Kali. And once you're done with that, you could simply be seated if you're not already. And you can gaze at the image of the card, especially the blood red symbol for the base chakra on the front of the skull. You can rest your hands one on top of the other, palms facing upwards. Your right hand can rest in your left hand. This is the mudra, which is a hand posture of Bharavi. The posture to rest, to overcome fear and ego, and to receive great benefit. And just do this mudra. Usually after 10 minutes, I start to feel it shift in my energy. And you could also repeat a mantra. And as you repeat the mantra, just imagine or just pretend that sound is generating sacred divine presence in your heart. And your heart is shining ruby red light to nourish, awaken, and protect all beings. You are becoming a grid worker, an anchor of this energy, and radiating this energy across all directions and all dimensions. And you can let your heart and your voice emanate this energy. Let this be an offering. And you can simply say, Ja Ma Kali, as many times as you feel. And once you are done, the sacred ritual of invocation is done. So, when I first started working with Dark Mother energy, it was because I lived in fear. I lived in fear of what other people would think of me. I lived in fear of failure. I lived in fear of being too much. I lived in fear of not being enough. Just such extremes that I would move from one to the other. And so when I started to practice actually embodying the energies of the goddess archetypes that hold so much wisdom and combining that with my body, like, there are no words for what has happened. Maybe I'll make a video, I haven't done it in a while, about all of the changes. I usually make them in like short increments, so I have a lot of like 9 to 10 minute videos where I talk about things happening in my life and in the world and sharing things with you. But I've accomplished so much, you know, and even things as simple as being able to lose weight and keep it off, that was something that I struggled with. But when I devoted myself to this journey, like, I haven't had to deal with that anymore. Sometimes I get too skinny and I'm like, okay, girl, finna, you know, get in the kitchen. We're finna cook up something special. And I was just see that as, okay, I just need to nourish myself. But I didn't have the issue of becoming overweight anymore. And I was afraid that the person that I was becoming, she was so like unique and just so different. And I knew that it was going to rub some people the wrong way. And I knew some people was going to misunderstand me. And so I just made it a thing, like through shadow work. And I'm like, okay, my middle name is Miss and my last name was Understood. I guess that's what it's going to be for a little while. Like, it's okay if you misunderstand me. You know, it is not my right or responsibility to manage the way people perceive me as I am transforming and changing. And I had the thought, like, some people are just the same. You run into them after not seeing them for many years and like they're literally still the same person. But that's not me. And it doesn't mean that either of us is wrong. It's just different. And so I was subconsciously staying the same because I wanted to avoid conflict, right? I wanted to avoid the stress that can come with transformation. But when you have your tools, when you have your conflict resolution guide, when you have you know which goddess is speaking to you through certain oracle messages showing up in certain body parts, when you know those two things and you got a easy routine that you can do in your bed, you don't even need a yoga mat. Because I know some of us, our bones and stuff be just too achy and creaky, be trying to get down on the floor with a yoga mat sometimes. Like, I get it. So this is why I create content that has this softness element to it, so that this can be like a sacred place where you come and like rest from so many of these things that could be so demanding for you. And you know, it's so many things. It's more than I could go over with you now. But this reading was really beautiful. I've given you so many tools that you can use. I recommend that you watch this back. Like, did I hit anything? Did I give some clarity? Like, how are you feeling now, you know, that we went through this journey together? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I love to hear from y'all. I love to check my comments. It's just this feeling that I get, and I'm like, yes, like, we are doing this like one moment at a time, right? One person at a time. But if the Skool community that I call my Coven, but it's free. It's free. And you can actually softly introduce these things into your life and be consistent as possible. And I really do feel like if stuff can help me, and I've been very transparent about a lot of my issues and diagnosis and even things that I'm dealing with now, like, it can help you too. And that's the whole purpose of us being here. All right. So yes, this is really beautiful. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because maybe sometimes you subscribe and then you look back and then you're not subscribed anymore. If that happens, that's okay. Just subscribe again and keep subscribing, and share it with somebody. Share it with another sister that you feel like will resonate for this, because yeah, I kind of just I went on a rampage today, and I know that y'all go take action. Y'all ain't, no, y'all ain't gonna sit back. Y'all ain't gonna sit back and just be letting shit happen. We're not doing that over here. We're not doing that. Not in the untamed circle, okay? And if you get in the Coven, okay, the Sacred Sister Coven, like what we doing over there, yeah, it ain't for everybody, and it ain't for everybody's eyes. And I want to keep it that way. Having a sacred space is so necessary, even just for mental health. Having a sacred space, you know, where you can get this information and have these practices and share the experiences that you're having from that. So, yes. All right, y'all. Happy feelings in the air. Happy feelings in the air. loving people everywhere. Oh, baby. Look, let me. Okay. I love y'all.
I got this sacred, that sacred fire. We break the matrix, we burning brighter. Higher, higher, higher. I take you higher. You know I got this. You know I got this sacred fire, this sacred fire. I break the matrix. I'm burning.